Uh, Greetings, everyone. Thought I was going to figured I'd take a break today and uh, do a little bit of Empyrion since they recently did a new update with new storyline. Primarily, I do Elite Dangerous and used to do a lot of WoW stuff, but I'm not sure if I'll get back into WoW or not. Not thinking so, but here's Empyrion. Going to do basically from the start up and go from there. Survival. Now they have added some new planets with the latest update. If you haven't seen it, some of the other news on it. This is a temperate, easy world, bit of gravity, breathable, and it has all these items already. Arid, non-breathable. The benefit of going non-breathable is you start with a suit of armor, so therefore you already have built-in head light and things like that. I tend to lean towards non-breathable. The swamp area, you get a little bit more. You got your temperature going, it's breathable, but a lot of times the swamp areas will have more radiation. So here's your settings for how you can do that, but you generally don't want to be anywhere around a swamp at night. And they also have a new one where you're starting on a frozen over planet. It is harder to get going with this. I'm going to go ahead and go with the arid. I do prefer those a little bit better. Got the basic equipment. We have a tutorial. Going to set that. Going to keep it medium difficulty settings, but I am going to change up a couple things in here. Normal food consumption, oxygen consumption, normal temperature, radiation impact, normal on the amount of ore per deposit, normal on that. This means if you mine an ore deposit, it eliminates it. But if you go and put this to false, an auto miner won't deplete it. It just continuously mines that spot. On this run through, I'm actually going to go rich and plenty and false on the auto miner depletion, just because it makes it a little bit quicker. And I'm going to speed these things up. These are going to be true. And the reason for this is it just will speed up, so you don't have to we don't have to sit around and wait for things to start up. Especially for you folks, not have to sit around with me doing pretty much nothing while I'm waiting for my things to get built, or my ships to spawn, or my base to spawn in. Now, one of the things we'll see here very shortly, there are some new things in the game that I have not witnessed yet, because this is the first time I've played since the update that changed a lot of things. And lo and behold, I can see right away that we have a lot of stuff in this immediate area that's going to be beneficial to us. So I'm going to crash, right in this general area. We've got a lot of stuff we're going to be able to use right off the bat. I use the Alt button as we're falling to be able to move the mouse around without moving the ship. This is all new, the new protocol. We're going to go ahead and do this and walk all the way through it. And they are going to be doing some dialogue into this stuff. We can close the dialogue or hold the mouse button, click the mouse button to scan through it faster. So we're going to do this. We'll open this up. We're going to take all of it. While this is open, I'm going to need this, this, and I'm going to go ahead and set the way I generally run with all my stuff when I'm doing the game. I would have liked to have had some more fuel right off the get-go, but that's going to be not going to be a major issue. So this is going to go all the way through the tutorial for us. What I'm doing here, when it's the defense mode, this will chop the tree down. And they have changed this where the survival tool does less damage, so we're going to need to watch out for that. I'm going to go ahead and go through this stuff. This is the PDA, and it'll go through detail on all this stuff. We've got that. Open the inventory tab. We're basically just going to walk through the mission real quick. It wants us to consume an energy pack. Use a health thing, which I really don't like using a health pack already, but it'll fill us all the way up. Now we need to pick up some ores. And since we have the jetpack, we can do the jumpy thing, which will help us get around a lot quicker than if we didn't. And these resources I'm picking up now will probably go bad, but what I'm aiming for is experience like that. Everything we pick up is 100 experience points, and that will help us real quickly. This is to drill. To open this window, right mouse button, and this will get us some ore. F picks the items up. This is going to have to, we'll hold off until we get our base where we're going to set up the base. But I am not going to do that quite yet. I'm going to go and get some stuff from the wreckage. And I'm hoping that one of these things by us. I believe one of them I saw as we coming in is a habitat we can basically take over and set up as our base for a little while. Alright, there's that. We'll leave that stuff there. And it is not showing there yet. Now we've got... This is new with this expansion. This is the scanner. And this is what we have here. Wreckage, resources, wreckage. And some other things. None of those is what I was hoping to see. None of those scream a good base right off the get-go. We'll get to that here pretty quick. There's usually a facility that will have some solar already set up, a bed, and some other things that might have some stuff buried. Let's see here. Okay, this container is labeled for Polaris, so if we try to take anything out of there, we would lose rep with them, and we do not want to do that. So we'll keep going, moving along. Actually, go ahead and get some more plant fiber. Well, wood that will turn into plant fiber to get biofuel. Not much wood, but pickers can't be choosers, right? Boy, we're sure coming across a lot of areas that don't have things right off the top. Usually, these kind of wreckages in the past would have storage in them, and you're able to get a lot of things right off the get-go that would make your life a lot easier. Storage pallets and other nice, useful things like that, but I'm not seeing them in those. And as you see, only the ones that we're real close to stayed on the mini-map for the points of interest. So it looks like what I'm going to do... Okay, spoiled food. We'll go ahead and take all of that. Okay. We've been to that wreckage, that and that. I was really hoping to skip. I think I'm going to. So if we go into this, go here and just skip this part. We're going to go into Survival Constructor, make that. That gives us this. Pop up a little more oxygen. And that just skip, we just skip basically a part of the tutorial just to speed things up a little bit. And now we'll go into here, make an energy bar. Top off in a little air. Eat some of the energy bars. Open the map. And here's where they're talking. That's going to be where we're going to set up our base. But before we get there, I want to be level 3. And I'll explain why here once we hit 3. But I am going to want some more ores beforehand, even though we'll get some ores when we get there. Unless they change what comes out of the... Oh, we're at 3. Okay. So, what we're going to do is, in the tech tree, actually, I'm going to hold off on that so we don't have to keep doing a lot of cleaning up instead of skipping tutorials. So if I go and build some stuff right now, which I'd probably be building duplicates of anyways, but it won't register when we get to that part of the tutorial. What I really want is some silicone. We're getting close to that resource. There we go. I thought so. I thought when you got close to a resource, it would actually change and tell you what the resource was when you honked. Good. What we need is the silicone for some items that we're going to want to build fairly quickly. Now, I'm not sure at what point. I believe once you build up to a certain point, I believe it is when you build up your own base. Well, we get a pretty good amount of stuff through here. Now, is this... Yeah. We're going to start a temporary camp and go through this. So, we'll go do the tech tree. And it wants us to unlock portable constructor, which is what I didn't want to go and do. Portable constructor we're going to do, but we're going to skip some stuff. We're also going to build a shotgun right off the get-go. Small generator will wait on. We're going to go ahead and get this. We still have 32 more points. We're going to need some storage and a food processor and upgraded solar panels. Now the problem is we need a minimum of a large constructor to build the large solar panels. So that's going to be our next level upgrade. Unfortunately, the way the game works, you have to build the small constructor to build the large constructor. And when you build the advanced constructor, it takes a large constructor to build it, but you also have to have another large constructor to be able to make that one. Things stack like that all the time. 21 points. We're going to hold off doing any others because we're going to want some stuff for our hover vessel. So we'll close that. And in our survival constructor is the portable constructor. And we already picked up the things we need to build that. So we're going to start that constructor. And we'll see how sensitive my mic is as I open up another soda drink. Try and get it, keep it away from the mic. Nope, I think it picked it up. Oh well. I really would have liked to have a little more here. Okay, that's something we can check out right now. This over here is an abandoned. Go and get this. Hover vessel. Now, it's damaged. It's going to need some components to run properly. I believe it's a fuel and a generator to be able to run properly, but that's going to tell us all about that here in just a minute. And I believe that's where we're going to need the silicon. But we'll come back over here. We're going to want this, that. We're going to put these, that. I'm not even going to worry about these pieces. We're also going to need some rock and a couple other things. And we're going to take this. And then we'll put this stuff all on our taskbar. So 4, we'll put that in. This. So what we have here is a water and O2. We have we'll go ahead and do that much for now. We have a decent amount of oxygen, which we are going to go ahead by hitting the shift, holding the shift down and the right mouse button. We can put that on 75, so we can do one more to fill us back up. And this will plop over, run away, and we'll get some water bottles and this oxygen from that. This is a heater cooler, regulates the temperature around us. Okay, all of that is here. Okay, put all of this stuff in there too. We get a lot more stuff we can make food-wise from this constructor than what our onboard survival constructor can give us. That'll come in handy. First things first, I want a shotgun, and we're not going to be able to make the bullets for the shotgun yet. So we're going to go out and it looks like I'm going to go ahead and change some other things up, because it didn't register us putting the heater cooler down because we did it before the constructor. So go into here, skip that, we already put it down. We've already put the tent down. I'm actually going to skip the motorbike. I personally cannot stand the thing. And the weapon and ammo we'll be getting to here very shortly. What we need is some gravel, I believe, but I'm not 100%. We'll make sure, find out right now. Okay, so nope, we just need the plant fibers. So we have iron and copper. Takes 5 to make it, so we can do 2 of these. We'll go ahead and do all 4 of the copper. We'll go ahead and do 10 of those. That'll give us plenty of that. And do that. So we're going to go put this here. And we're getting there. We're going to actually go back and skip the weapon because we already made it. And we're done with that. Now the next thing is vessel repairs to repair that hover vessel. We already found the vessel, but it's going to want us to go back by it again. I want my shotgun ammo. Okay. Panel. And we can devices, generator, and a fuel tank is what we're going to need. So that's what I said was over here. That's the generator slot, and that's the fuel tank slot. So let's see what we have back around over here. Nothing through there. Oh, another thing you can do is collect things by dismantling stuff. This has given us a whole lot of steel plate that we'll go ahead and throw in here. Now, what we're going to need is for hover vessels, we need a generator, and I am not sure okay, we have what we need to build that. Now, since we have 196 of the plant fibers, this takes 10. By holding the shift and then the left mouse button, it goes up by 2. We can make 19 of them. And that's going to be all the fuel we need in the hover vessel. Before it all goes bad, because this stuff only has 28, 18, 17. When it's processed, it gives you a lot more time. So we'll go ahead and make 11 of those. Whoops. Takes 2. 11's too much, but we're not going to worry about it. We'll just go ahead and lump them. You can also make meat from your plant proteins. This gives you 45 food. This gives you 60 food, but some health also. It also takes plant protein and vegetables to make it. So this is plant protein. And then you have the vegetables. But we'll go ahead and just go with 10 of those. Eat a couple of these. I'm going to hold off. Actually, we don't have to. Get one more of these. And that'll be more than enough fuel to get the actually, we already have enough fuel to get the ship, the hover vessel back. 6. I think we're still too far. Nope, there's silicon. That's what we need. Good. We've got silicon there. We wanted fuel tank and generator. So the fuel tank's top, we want the generator first. That goes there, and then the fuel tank, and then we can take this, put the fuel on, get on the hover vessel, power it on. We don't have a whole lot of fuel on board. Okay, I'm missing something here. I remember a way to change the camera angle, but I'm gonna have to figure that one out. We've got our hover vessel right by that. You always want to power down. Save your fuel. And 4. It's not going to be enough yet. Okay, went through that. We need, ooh, I don't think we have it yet. No, yeah, it's locked. Talent tree, hover vessel, detector. So that's, I believe, it a lot of the stuff. That's about where I'm going to stop right now on that. R, reload your weapon. So now we have a weapon set up. I think I want 6 is a little awkward for me to hit on my keyboard as I'm going. So we're set there, and we'll sleep for the night. Oops, I knew I forgot something. We need optical fibers. Optical fibers take silicon ingots. That's what I was getting at with the... We need the silicone. So, we'll go ahead. I want to check tools, multi-tool. I'm not going to worry about 7 for the drill. I generally don't make multi-tools. I find them fairly quickly in the game. We'll see if that stays constant. Nothing there we really need. That stuff's good. We'll go ahead and hold off on the rest of that. Start the hover vessel. Where was that silicon? So much quicker to use this. That's a copper deposit there. I'm going to go ahead and just mine this since we're here. There's the silicon basically directly below us. I always mine at angles, especially if you don't have a suit yet. And if you look to the bottom right of the screen, it tells you what kind of angle you're shooting down at. Because at this, we can climb out. Without that, it could be difficult to get back out of your mining area, and you might have to actually dig your way back out. I'm going to go ahead and mine fairly extensively this node. See how we've already got myself into that kind of a situation there. We have to use a jetpack to get out. And I also usually go and circle the deposit just on the outer edge of it at about a 30-degree angle. Usually with just a little bit of the deposit going into where I'm circling down on. And that just gives me an easy way to come out of the mine shaft. Okay, we're about half load. Oh, man. Go ahead and get that taken care of before we really want. Fill that, get that there. We have cargo capability. We're almost full on cargo, but that's going to give us a lot more we can bring back to base. Not much cargo, but it's early game. It's going to be plenty. I have a feeling that's going to be pretty close to the bottom of this. Small silicone setup. The other way that I've done the mining for this is I'll mine from the top of the ore deposit and just dig myself all the way down till it's done, and then just from the bottom cut my circular walkway along the outside wall of the pit back to the start point. But I found that I kept having problems lining up with my entry point, so I just started cutting it down at the beginning. Even if, as you're mining out, you cut your entry point down a little bit, you just widen it up as you're on your way out. What you need to watch for, which is something I wish they had in the game, is a way to see what you're carrying while you're mining. So on this screen, we don't have a way to tell how close we're getting to being full. And if you're mining and you get full, you drop a piece of ore deposit on the ground. It wouldn't be that bad now because we have the hover vessel right above us. We can just run what we got on us up top, deposit, and we can probably get back down before that deposit disappears. We already have more than silicone that we're going to need by far, but I'm just going to go ahead and mine this out. We only have 20% ore left, plenty of volume left. Top off our air, and we're going to need to get some more wood to get a lot more air being made. That's the thing with the arid, you have to keep an eye on that a lot more. But I like having the jetpack at the start, the little extra armor at the start, and A couple other benefits for having lack of oxygen on the planet when you first start up by having the suit on the get-go. I want to say you gain like 100 volume by having a suit. So that also helps that end a little bit. So yep, that's all of it. We'll go ahead and come on out of here. I did not realize that. I just saw that. Oh, actually, that's not. I know I'm not going to. That's not what I'm looking for. This is a PvP server. Oh well, we'll see how that works out. Okay, our capacity there is full. I'm going to go ahead and take all of this because this is what I'm more interested in, along with that stuff. Fire it up. Head back to the large wreckage. Make a quick pit stop here, because we're going to need some more fuel. Drop it down there. Yeah, we're good there. So, what we have is 4 copper's not going to do anything, but that we get one more of these. 31 of the silicone. So that's going to set us up there. Now we can make the hovercraft detector. And 5 wood. We get, oh, they upped that. Every log we get 30. It used to be 20 on the output count. And these take 10 each, so 3 times 5 is 150, so we can do 15 of them. And those 15 is going to feed, a good chunk of them are going to go into here, because we do need this continuously operating to keep us full of air. Once we're able to switch from biofuels to promethium, it's a lot easier, but also by that time we're doing some other ways of getting our oxygen supply. Let's go ahead and get some more quick, easy experience points. I'm kind of curious about some other items we can go and do, but we're not going to be able to do that until we have the detector, and we're actually going to need to grab a bunch more wood. One more of these. So that's that stuff. We are... Ooh, let's go ahead and bump that to level 5. Let's find something else to harvest. Boom, level 5. I want to hold off on doing anything else in the tech tree because I don't want to get ahead of the tutorial again. While we're waiting for some things to come about, I believe this game is only available on Steam, but I'm not anywhere near positive of that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do one more option. This right here is your blueprints. If it's... I'm going to do... Let's do these. All of these blueprints right here, I pulled off the workshop. These bottom ones with the chip icon come from the game already. These other ones are were created by players in the game. Spange, Jay Randall, and several others. This is a Jay Randall design. These are Jay Randall's. This is a Spange. Yeah, this is. I want to say this is Spange, or was it another Randall? I forget now. But these are all Jay Randall's, and we'll get to these here in a minute. But primarily why I wanted to bring these up, this is generally how I do my ships. I generally don't build them myself. I am not good at it. I can do repairs and some other things, but these people can make some stuff in the game that is just mind-boggling. Something real easy. The Creole or Jay Randall. There's a couple other people now that are doing their ships and stuff. It's a new race since this patch, based on things that were created by people like Jay Randall and Spange. Great ships, a lot of them. Some of them need a little bit of work. This one needs some work because when it was built, they didn't have certain things on them. Like, I think this was built before even the CPU stuff came into effect. I'm not sure about that, but it was definitely built prior to needing thrusters for liftoff and things like that, or he figured it for just like running off of something like this with the runway. but you have to add thrusters to it to do vertical takeoffs. But you also need them to be able, you need thrusters on it to be able to rotate the ship and some other things. So I think it was made before those changes were put into the game. He is updating a lot of his works. It's a constant update. And like I said, he does some really great items. What I'm looking at, and I think I should have had a timer going, I just saw that we are sitting at 50 minutes of video time right now. So what I think I'm going to do, where do I want to put this? The spot I'd really like to put it is actually right back there. It would have been nice to have this out and actually have it stashed all the way in the back. Okay, I think I'm going to put it right there for now. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pause it now. And, well, actually, I'm going to stop it now. We're almost an hour in. I'm going to stop the video here and start up a number 2, just like we are right now. That's a good place to stop the video stream.